All right, everyone, a little bit of a different video today. I am over here at the local Flint John Deere dealership, and my buddy Greg, who is one of the head mechanics over here, called me, and they're putting a custom forestry package on a brand new 333G, and he asked me if I'd like to come down here and just look at it, you know, and make a video on it. And I was like, cool, you know, I've never really seen one of the 333s up close with the forestry package and see what that's all about. So thought I'd come down here, take a look at it, and show you guys what it's all about, and then maybe get some feedback from you guys in the comments if you run a 333 or know anybody that's running a 333 with the forestry package, without the forestry package, you know, and just see what you guys' thoughts are on it, and get some feedback. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll check out and see what it's all about. Oh wow, so cool. All right, everybody, cool little video today. The guys from Flint let me come out here and check out this. This is a brand new 333G that is getting a full forestry pack, well, almost a full forestry package on it. And I've actually never seen one really with the full forestry package on it. I just kind of wanted to show you guys this. So I thought it was pretty cool. We were looking at these cylinders. These are, so he's got one on, you can see the difference with the cylinder. He's getting the cylinder guards right here for the front cylinders to keep stuff from banging into the cylinders and denting them or breaking them. And so you get this guarding here, and so this is going to be welded on right here at the bottom of this cylinder. This will get welded on. My only thing with this would be, it might cause an issue if this, like way down the road, if this ever had to, these cylinders ever had to be repacked.
You just have to take the guard off the top.
You have to take it off the top?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess the whole thing would just... Okay.
Bolt it right there.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. Okay, yeah. So the mount would stay welded on, but that would just... Okay. That's not too bad then. Yeah, you got this big wiper guard here. That's one thing on mine. My wiper gets bead tore up bad. I don't even, it's so bad I don't even use it. I just get out, take my arm, and just go like that to the windshield. But all new guarding up here on the top, guarding on the inside in there, and then this all this on the outside is even this double now. Yeah, so this is all double here. This is a lot thicker right here on the side. I mean, I can tell, look at this compared to mine. This is much thicker. All that now. This is standard though. Is this standard, or is this part? That's different. This is all different too? Yeah, this is one thing I have problems with on my E model is, okay, so that's the old one. Gotcha. So that's one of the big knocks I have on my E model, is this is all open right here. Where those lines go, well, I guess you could say they actually come out to these cylinders and all that stuff. This is just a big hole, and it just gets filled up with stuff and lets all that stuff go down into the hydraulic compartment underneath the seat. So, but yeah, I remember seeing this on the standard 333s, but yeah, that's all really tight. Keep that debris out of there. The big thing with this is keeping stuff from breaking anything, and then keeping the dust out pretty much.
Yeah, even this is different too.
Oh, really? That's different too? Wow.
Yeah, over.
Golly. I didn't even notice that was different. Oh, so there's the old one. Wow. And then you got this big bumper back here. That thing is heavy duty. I mean, that looks like 5/8, 3/4 inch steel, all bolted into the counterweight back here. So this is where your counterweights would go. Yep. So this almost is like a counterweight now, you know, with that being as big and heavy as it is. That's pretty awesome. You got a trailer hitch in the back here. You got recovery hooks. I'm guessing these would be your recovery hooks. If you needed to hook up, you could hook right up to that. Oh, got a rear screen back here. at there. Wow. And then even, we'll go around the fan. And then even this is different right here. You were telling me this has this little lip that keeps the dust from sliding into there. And that's an issue I have with my E model as well. So, yep. Oh, and then it has that little rubber gusset right there too. Oh, that's even nicer. So this thing is really about trying to keep the dust out. And then in here, they actually have a cover over the turbo right here. And why are they trying to cover the turbo? Is that just something that
we're getting debris in there and catching on fire?
Oh, okay. Where that turbo, I guess, is sucking in air right there. That's interesting. One thing about these G models with all the emission stuff in it, like on my E model, all this is open in here. It's all wide open. On this one, everything is just crammed in there. You know, it's really tight. And on this one, like on the old ones, they had that V cooling. The radiators go in at an angle. Like mine, the radiators go in both sides. They go in at an angle. These are just, they're stacked, yeah, straight on the sides. Yeah, there's a thing back here for the turbo right there. That metal plate for the turbo. Cover that over, keep dust from getting into that. All this on the top. You got all this big heavy duty grill up here over your glass. This is probably Lexan. So if this is Lexan, gotta be, yeah. White guards. This thing is tricked out. I will say the only thing I would have to say for this was that it probably adds, depending on how much you put on, probably adds a lot of weight to this machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changing the shocks that cab too.
Changing what?
The shocks, the heavy duty shocks.
Okay.
You know, for the raised cab up.
Yep. Oh, so you actually had to put heavier duty shocks in there for to raise that up. Okay. Wow. Jeez Louise. Okay, yeah, there's the old shock right there. So the engineers on this really did damn near think of a lot of stuff, you know, even going so far as to change the shock that actually lifts the cab to account for all this extra weight, all this guarding and stuff. Wow, that's impressive. So it makes it a lot easier to raise that cab with all that extra weight on it. That's even, and then you got this thing. Yep. And this is all bolt-on, so you don't have to worry about really welding any of this. This is all bolt-on. So if you have to get any of these heads, you just unbolt that. That's pretty simple. No worries there. That's really cool. And then you got your cylinder guards down here. Now this one, you can actually get cylinder guards for these cylinders in here, but this one's not getting it. But these cylinders, you can get guards for those too. But this one's not getting it, so you can actually kind of pick and choose on these forestry packages if you want something, don't want something. So this one's not getting the cylinder guards for the boom cylinders, which I don't really think those are necessary in my opinion. I've never really had anything get in there, but those are pretty cool. Right. That's definitely something that's nice to have. Is there anything else that's going on this thing that you haven't put on really, other than the other cylinder guard?
Just bigger heavy duty belly pans.
Oh, we're getting a, oh wow, yeah, that's definitely a more heavy duty belly pan for sure. That's much thicker than what's on my machine. I mean, even though mine's an older E model, I don't think they've changed much with the belly pans. Is that the front one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the rear. I know that one. So these will get changed. This belly pan will get changed into a more heavy duty. That one out there. So that one, and there's another one up there in the front. I wish these belly pans were a little bigger, or there were more of them through here. That's a new pan. My machine doesn't have that pan. There's Seppi. This is If you guys can see that in there, this is a Seppi head. S-E-P-P-I. Mini Forest 175. Look at that thing. That's an interesting... It's spent? No, it's locked up. So this is just like the Prenoth, where it's got these rakers on it that act as bite limiters. You know, just like a raker on a chainsaw, just like on my head. Same thing like John with Upstate Brush Control. Same thing on his Pecons. They have these bite limiters. The drum looks really small. It's a very little smaller diameter drum than what I've got, but these teeth stick way out. That's really gnarly looking for sure. And then your teeth bolt, I guess a single mount bolt on the back that goes into the tooth, probably down somewhere in here. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, that's where the bolt comes out. So your bolt's protected by the raker, which is nice. You don't have to worry about that getting into anything, getting really into there. Open. There's an open scattered design. You got breaker teeth right here for your wear liner. So as that stuff gets processed through, it's going to hit on these breaker teeth. Oh, that's cool. You got a tutorial. You put your phone right there. Gives you a tutorial. That's cool. I like, that's a cool thing right there. Low profile. Cut control. This one doesn't have, like my Prenoth has these bars up here that hold the material. Like when you hit it, won't keep it from sliding over. A little different than mine, but all these mulchers kind of do the same thing. They all just look a little different. Big old hoses. Standard plate in the back. Your motor comes down here. I like this in the back here. That's pretty direct. Like mine, and this is nice and protected back here because mine mounts, my lines come up here to the top where they're exposed going down into the motor. This is nice being mounted back here in the back. This is nice and protected back here, being mounted back here. That's nice. Seems like the lines would be a lot more protected back here. Yep. Like on my Prenoth, they sit up here on the top, you know? Yeah. And they're very much exposed. And I like this too. I see mulchers with these, with the gauges on them, your pressure gauge, so you know what your pressure is in the mulcher. That's nice. I really like those. I wish mine had that. This is a badass looking head for sure. There's the man in charge. There's Greg. This is the guy that gets all my money right here.
You like money. Oh Lord.
This thing's pretty cool though. I mean, Richie was just showing me, it's got most of everything on it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that cover over the turbo is...
It's gonna be terrible.
You think so?
To get off.
Oh, to get off, yeah. But if it keeps it from catching on fire, it'd probably be worth it, but it is a little stacked in there. I like that lip. The couple things that they've added to keep dust and debris out of it, like just the little things like that lip at the back with a gusset on the bottom of the side plate, you know, that's nice, you know. And then the one, all this up here at the front around these hoses, that's all really cool. I like all that. But I bet all that extra metal's got to add 700 or 800 extra pounds to this thing at least.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, it's cool looking. I mean, that thing, it's heavy duty for sure. I mean, it's a tank, no doubt. I know a lot of people, and this has happened to me, and I know a lot of people say the deers are, you know, bad about catching on fire, but I've seen deers catch on fire, I've seen cats catch on fire, I've seen Kubotas catch on fire doing this. So I think a lot of it's just keeping your machine cleaned out, you know. That's right.
Well, it's supposed to keep the debris from
getting into it, you know. But you still, that doesn't mean you don't have to keep it cleaned out.
That's the operator responsibility.
Exactly. I won't name any names, but we had another 333 that was a Forestry machine in here the last time, and I mean, it looked like it hadn't been cleaned out in months. You know, that was about as dirty a machine as I've seen around. And it was doing mulching work, so. But this thing is pretty badass looking, I'm not gonna lie. I like it.
We'll get your signed PO.
Yeah. Yeah, I want one of those excavators out there. That's what I want. You still got that 245 sitting out there?
Nope.
Nope. It's gone. Yeah. It's still really, it's a nice package. I wish they would have kept these as 3/4 though. Seems like the flow rate through these would be better with a bigger head.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Like my E model has 3/4 and they went back to a half on these on the high flow.
Yeah.
I don't really know why. So just talking to Greg, one thing I would say is, so my E model came standard with 3/4 inch couplers. And this coming from the factory with high flow, they went back to these 1/2 inch couplers. And I would say, if you know, if I'm the engineers at John Deere, and I'm not, so what do I know? But I would say this probably needs to come with 3/4 inch heads if it's coming with high flow, because you're just going to get more flow and less restriction at these heads, and it's going to allow the mulcher to spin up, you know, a lot easier, allow it to recover quicker, allow for a lot cooler hydraulic temperatures, allowing that oil to come through those couplers a lot easier. So, but other than that, I'd say everything else on this thing's pretty solid. You guys tell me. You guys have run one of these with the Forestry package, yay or nay? If you do have one with the Forestry package, do you like it? If you don't have one, you know, do you think it's needed? I'd like to know in the comments. This is the only thing I don't like about, the other thing I don't like about these 333s. If you're backing up and you go by a tree and a limb or something catches these hoses, that's kind of bad. And that's one thing where my E model doesn't have these hoses sticking out the back. Y'all have an issue with people like backing up, you know, and catching a tree or catching a limb and catching these hoses right here? Yeah. That's the one thing my E model doesn't have, is the lines don't route through the boom, so they don't come out back here, so I don't ever have that issue. But just from a forestry perspective, you know, most of the time you hit stuff backing up than you do going forward, you know, and then you back up and you catch a limb or some briars or something and snag one of these, you know, a limb gets in there and snags one of these lines, rips it out. You know, that's really the only weak point, you know, behind here with all of this. I would try to do something to guard these. You can't do anything about them sticking out, but I would try to maybe wrap them in that, like my mulcher has like that stuff, that plastic wrap them in that plastic, at least keep something from poking into them. But other than that, just for fun, come over here and take a look. This is a brand new 160G. Nice looking little machine. Unlocked? Oh yeah, it's unlocked. Man, this cab is spacious. It was a nice cab. I do not like these rockers, these up and down rockers. I'm so used to the side to side rocker for a thumb. But that's a small complaint. That's just a personal preference thing more than anything. Yeah, this thing's nice. The cab is very spacious. A lot of room in the back there to put like a lunchbox or something. A lot of AC vents too. Yep. Big old Hitachi 300. This 160 looks small next to this thing. Very nice machine. Got all auxiliary hydraulics. Yep, I don't know if that's an actual diverter valve or just a shutoff. Not sure. But it's got auxiliaries for running a thumb or whatnot. Nice looking 700L right there too. Woo. I don't think it's new, but it's doesn't look that old if it ain't new. Always fun to come over here and look at stuff. I just got through putting a 66-inch bucket on this 380. That's a good sized bucket for that 380 right there. That's probably a 3 to 4 yard cubic yard bucket, somewhere in that ballpark. That's a big machine. For around here, that's a good sized machine. All right, everybody, just a couple of quick thoughts about that machine with the Forestry package on it. I really like where John Deere is going with that Forestry package. I think overall it's a really good idea. I like how they're really concentrating on trying to keep dust and debris out of the machine. Obviously, that is the number one biggest problem with these machines is keeping all that dust and debris out of them so they don't catch on fire. That's the real big risk with these machines, is you're having to run them the engine's wide open typically, or close to full throttle. The hydraulics are going full capacity under a lot of pressure. Everything's building up a lot of heat, a lot of friction, and these machines just pull in tons and tons of air through the filters, through the air intake. I mean, it's just pulling in tons and tons of air to keep this machine going. And as you're going along with that mulcher, you're just churning up all this dust, and all that stuff's just going right in the machine. So anything they can do to keep that dust out of there is a great idea. I think some of the guarding is really nice, trying to keep some of the weak points and some of the more expensive parts of the machine, like one of those cylinders, keep those protected. I mean, obviously, if you were to bang that cylinder, like that bottom cylinder, into something and bend that rod, that's an expensive repair all around. So trying to keep that stuff shielded. There is a bit of, some things that I don't know if they're really going to be able to totally fix, or shield, like those lines in the back that come out the back of the arm. I don't have that problem with my machine. I really like that, but on that one, that's going to be an issue when you're backing up, and that's when you have the least amount of visibility in a skid steer, is when you're backing up. One of those lines snags a branch, or you come too close, a little bit too close to a tree, and you back into it. That's going to be a bad day if you damage those lines. So, and then with the 3/4 inch fittings on the front for the hookups, the bigger fittings that you can have to allow that oil to go through there and have less restriction, the better the mulcher is going to perform, and it's actually going to result in cooler hydraulic temperatures as well for the machine. So I think if they've got a 333 coming out of the factory, those quick connect heads at the front of the arm really need to be probably 3/4, in my opinion. It's what they are on my E model. I don't know why they went back to the 1/2 inch heads on the 333 on the newer G models, but I don't know what the engineers were thinking there. But overall, I thought it was, some of the guarding on there is really heavy duty. That back bumper is super heavy duty. You're not bending or breaking that thing at all. It doesn't look like it is solid, sturdy. I like the addition of the trailer hitch in the back too. It's got some recovery hookup points. You need to recover that machine. You can actually also get a recovery winch for those machines too. I think it's GR Industries out of Alabama does a custom winch. I think it's like a 20,000 pound recovery winch that you can get mounted, integrated into that rear bumper. That's really nice. That's something I've kind of looked in for my E model. Maybe down the road if I keep that machine for a lot longer, but that's a cool thing that you can also look into. I've heard people say that the 333s are, bad about catching on fire, but I've seen Deeres catch on fire, I've seen cats catch on fire, I've seen Kubotas catch on fire. You know, so any of these machines that are doing forestry type work, they're all at risk of catching on fire. The main thing with that is just keeping those machines clean, keeping your radiators clean, keeping your filters clean, keeping those machines blown out at the end of the day, or every other day, you know, depending on how much you're mulching. You know, you've got to keep that stuff blown out, you know, and that's why those panels come off. That's why the cab raises up, so you can get a, you know, an air nozzle or a blower or whatever it is you're using. I use a backpack blower, and that thing works amazing for what I do. But even now, some of the little like the little DeWalt handheld blowers are really nice. Little battery powered ones, you can stick that in the back seat of the truck. Runs off a 20-volt battery, and probably has plenty of power to blow out whatever you need. So that's another good option, but you gotta keep those machines cleaned out. Doesn't matter what you're running. ASV, Takeuchi, Kubota, Cat, doesn't matter. You gotta keep them clean. They will, any of them will catch on fire. So, but the big thing is with the new G models on those 333s is all that emission stuff in there. Like that back end is cramped in there. It's tight compared to my my E model that doesn't have all that emission stuff. You know, mine back there is wide open compared to that G model. I mean, everything's just stuffed down in there. It's tight, it's really cramped. There's not a lot of room to get, you know, an air nozzle or something like that down in there to blow it out or to keep it clean. I really wish those floor pans on the bottom were bigger. That's another little criticism I have, but overall, I really do like that forestry package. I don't know if I'm going to go with a 333 as my next machine if I keep doing this for forestry. I've talked to John and his guys about ASVs, and they really love the ASVs. And when those ASVs were designed, you know, ASV designed those machines from the ground up to go into the woods and do forestry work. And that's one thing I really like about them, is that machine is all about forestry. If you're trying to do other things with it, like grading or tree work or maybe some other things, it may not be as good. But if you're mulching, that machine seems like that's what it's made to do. So if I keep doing this and the Lord blesses me to keep doing this, and we, you know, keep going down that road, and, you know, that may be the direction I go in, but, you know, we'll just kind of see how things go. But I wanted to show you that, guys. And like I said, if you've got experience with the forestry package or the 333, let me know, or what other brand you've got, and do you like it for mulching or not? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments, guys. I appreciate it. And more content to come. We're putting in a garage pad this week. Later on, kind of a different project, so stay tuned for that, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.